Flight Boss, bitch. You know, for sure. You're now listening to the Mind Eminentary's Moon. Flight Boss, the Archangel Uriel. And I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now, we're going to do a little time traveling right now. We're going to go to the future. We're going to go to the future and we're going to go to the age of Capricorn. You see what I'm saying? The age of Capricorn and how things going to appear to be. And if you are a vessel that's going to experience this realm of reality at that time, this is the information that's going to be here. Now, for the most part, you need to understand this. The age of Pisces, things is going backwards. So right now, when people say we are in the age of Aquarius, people need to understand that technically, we're just sliding in there. And it's not going to be 0 degrees Aquarius. It's going to be 29 degrees Aquarius. So we're sliding into the end state. So we're still on the cusp of Pisces. So we're still going to experience a lot of Pisces energy. People have to understand that. The illusions, the dreams, the creativity, the imagination, the fantasy realm, the spirituality is still going to be here. Now, what you need to understand too is we just came from 3 degrees Pisces. What is 3 degrees Pisces? 3 degrees Pisces is the fixed star. It's the fixed star FORMALHAUT. Now, FORMALHAUT is the physical manifestation and the physical form or vessel that's playing out the characteristic traits of the Archangel Gabriel. Now, the Archangel Gabriel stands in a time where it's cold, it's underneath. Now, Gabriel played the face of God. So a lot of times, anybody who may play out this attribute, a lot of times may feel like they look like God. They may have a God complex. They may feel like they think they may feel like they think like God, they feel like God, and they feel like they may have a lot of collective conscious on how God will perceive things in the first place. And when we're talking about a God, we're talking about ascendant men and women, or we're talking about status levels and things of that nature. You have a high and a low one. Same way we talk about spirits. You have a high spirit and a low spirit. High spirit to be an angel, low spirit to be correlated to a demon. But they're just conscious beings. So when we want to talk about a God is something that is not an overall, but it's something that has access to rising. Now, when we want to talk about as far as us, when we just got away from and we're still experiencing some of the energies from the Archangel Gabriel. Now, the Archangel Gabriel, it's like the face of God, because here's what happens. It's in depth. It's in the bottom, and this is why it's in the Pisces constellation too, because it's in the feet. But when we say in the feet, we just mean as far as defeat, or as far as going under, or as far as being within death, or being frozen. You know what I'm saying? And things of that nature. So this is why right after it becomes Archangel Michael's time, which is Aldebaran, which kind of kicks in spring because it's in Gemini right now. But when they first started coming here, correlating the equinoxes, and I'm a Uriel, I'm on the west part of the end. When we start correlating these equinoxes and things of that nature, we started off in the 0 degrees of the cardinal signs. But so if you know how many like 72 years or things of that nature for us to move 1 degree, and if you know we move, and you know to move 30 degrees, you know how much time that'd take. And if we started off in 0 degrees of the cardinal signs, and if we're way in the mutable signs right now, then I can kind of give you a time scale of when this realm of reality was created. You see what I'm saying? And give you a kind of mind frame, because this realm of reality clock, and I'm talking about this realm of reality within this Draco being, this clock didn't start before the 4 archangels came here and started it in the 0 degrees of the cardinal signs. And the clock been going on for a while now, because we're in the mutable signs, and we're going to get ready to, and we move 1 degree every 72 years. So keep that in mind. And it's 72 something around that. And then think about it. We're in the mutable signs, and we're getting ready to go into the next cardinal signs. So I'm getting ready to be the ruler over someone else's, because look, I created, as Uriel, I created the element stars, part of the location of the body that deals with Libra, Scorpio, and Sagittarius. You see what I'm saying? Because I started off in Libra. You know what I'm saying? So when I came down here, I came down as a reflection, and as my sun sign being in the Aries, but my moon sign is who I am, which is Antares, the physical manifestation of Uriel. Now, as far as Aldebaran, that's Archangel Michael, He created the elemental energetic forces in the star clusters of Aries, Taurus, and Gemini. You know, Regulus, Archangel Raphael, started the constellations of Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. And then we get to FORMALHAUT, Archangel Gabriel. She has access, she or he, whatever, has access over the energetic, but it's the feminine energy. But when we get to talk about star beings and stuff like that, they just cater to more, but they're both. But you know, Gabriel is ruler over the energetic forces of Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. See what I'm saying? Now, she's way in Pisces right now. You see what I'm saying? And as an age, we just left 3 degrees. So you see how we was leaving, we was in a dream state. Anytime you talk about feat or defeat or sleep or eat or eat or, you know what I'm saying, that's dealing with energy but low on energy. That's why when you have gas, it's not full, it's on E. If your gas tank is empty, you see what I'm saying? So this is going down and up under, but already going through death. See, Uriel, which is me on the west end, I rule over to Tauruses, but at the same time, I'm ruling over hell as you experiencing hell. So this is where you develop your wisdom and knowledge and experience. This is that centaur energy, that Jupiterian energy, that authority energy, that appraising energy. So it's more like, when do you learn the most wisdom and knowledge in your life? When you're going through hellish experiences. When you're going through experiences that you got to learn from. That you got to put higher meanings and reasons to. So every form of experience is a hell. No matter if it's a good experience. It's a form of burning, or it's a form of learning something from. And gaining wisdom and knowledge and expanding your mind. So that is a hell. So physicality, physical, this is the Taurus right here. And that's why Taurus constellation, the heavens of it is Palladians, right? And the moon is exalted up there. And the moon... when a moon is exalted, this is where it always likes to be, and it can overexhaust itself a lot of times in this area. But when a planet is exalted, based upon our location, that means it's on top of us. That means it's in the heavens on top of us. So we're down. So we're looked at as being in hell in the Centaur constellation. This is why it's called Centaur. We in the center of the Centaur, the Taurus constellation, as far as the body piece we in, this is all within the body, what people have to understand. But which is the Taurus constellation appears as the heavens, and then you got Palladians, which is the eye of the bull. That's why when the moon travel, this is why we got all that birth, all the things that's dealing with pregnancy and birth and mooning and mooning, showing somebody's ass and things of that nature. And that's when, you know what I'm saying, birth. The milk, this is what they try to call is the milk, but that's coming through the rainbow ocean, and it gets a lot of spirits get birthed here into Taurus in hell and take physical forms, get put in a cell. And Earth is the planet that deals with what's the energetic element of Earth? You know what I'm saying? Growth, nourishment, you know what I'm saying, watering things and seeing the growth of it, and stability and structure and foundation and shape and form. So in this realm of reality, you get to do those things. But in those type of things, that's looked at as hell, especially in a lot of other different realms of realities and religions also. There's different forms of hell. When you need to understand that hell is just really just too much of one element. You know what I'm saying? Like when it's too much fire, that could be hell to you because you're a mixture of a bunch of elements. So when you get into an area that the element overtake too much of the percentage that you got, it'll be a hell. That's just like you eating too much salt. You have a certain amount of sodium in you. You eat too much salt, that's going to be hell inside your body. You drink too much pop, sodium. See, you see what I'm saying? It's different. It's too cold. You know what I'm saying? That's a hell. So too much of one element, when it's too much air, it's going to be a hell. That's like tornadoes and shit like that. Too much water, that's a hell. You can't breathe. You see what I'm saying? Too much of one element without your mixture, it becomes a hell. But see, we're just leaving the age of Pisces, but we're leaving it. We went from 29 degrees all the way up. So we was in a very strong, prominent dream state underneath, and our bodies was frozen, and our imagination was what was going on. So a lot of times, to keep the body frozen, we had to do a lot of physical things to keep the body frozen in the age of Pisces. That was like taking drugs, taking things like that, things that make the body just stale, but keep the dream state going, keep the imagination and the fantasy and the realm of flying and shapeless, formless realm going. So we was getting attacked by oversouls and things of that nature to the utmost degree. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't even taking what we was consciously aware of into consideration. So we wasn't even using the left brain in general. So I know we have a lot of people out there too, and even shout out to Dark Lord Lakilio Sai, you know, 13 Cosmic Law Astrology. And he used to preach a lot about, you know, we are in the premortal energy now. Us going into the age of Aquarius, we're more in the we're right brain now. We're going into the feminine energy, which that's kind of wrong a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But yo, ain't nothing wrong about homeboy, you know what I'm saying? That he one of the realest niggas that was on the internet, point blank, period. But for the most part, we need to talk about it from a standpoint where we at right now. And by us being in the age of Aquarius now, a lot of new information is going on. See, when we talk about air and Aquarius, this dealing more with the left brain. So this is dealing more with the positive and the male-like characteristics and traits. So when we was leaving the age of Pisces, that was the premortal waters. That was the imagination, the shapeless and formless. And then oversouls, they can, and planets and suns and stars and galaxies, they can influence you. That's how they can influence you the best way. But see, now we're going more into the left brain and air. So now, and then Aquarius is ruled by Uranus and Saturn. Saturn is the planet of how people see reality, how people gain structure in their life, and where they place and receive boundaries and restrictions and limits. Uranus is the planet of change, rebellion, but also opposition, but also one uniqueness and originality. You can't have one without the other. For a person to be unique and original, they had to have change, rebel, and oppose to get something at one point in time. Now, once you look at it like this, right? Now think about it. Us being in the age of Pisces, everybody had their ideas and imaginations and their religions and spiritualities and things of that nature, and how all these type of ways of tapping into that realm. Now when we get into the age of Aquarius, now that's not going to fly, because we're more in the male left brain energy. You know why? And because now people want to see the reality of these things. People are not just lost in their imagination. People are not just lost in their feelings and their emotions about the things. And people are not just trying to necessarily get high to figure out these things. People are getting high to understand reality right now. People are understanding that all that spirituality is reality right now. People are taking their far out scientific thoughts and using technology and information and science to conflate the two. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to play out in two different ways. People are going to conflate the spiritual world with physical world and try to combine the two, and you're going to have people who still understand the Pisces nature, because we're still on the cusp, and still understand that these things are separate. You still have to separate the water from the air. You still have to separate oxygen from hydrogen. You know what I'm saying? And then there's going to be a lot of people who slide into the age of Aquarius who don't understand that, and they're going to be conflating. See, that's the part that's good that we still need to keep from age of Pisces. That's what age of Pisces taught us. But us getting too left brain, too into reality, we're going to try to figure out everything scientifically, try to express everything through technology and computers and phones. You know what I'm saying? We're going to try to logically try to understand everything. You know what I'm saying? Understand the reality out of things and things of that nature. You can even go back to let's go back to looking at the music videos, between the difference between music videos. Let's say go back between 2003 and under, and then 2003 and above. So let's say 2003 up under is still heavy influenced by age of Pisces. Let's say 2003 and over is now kind of like we're in the motherfucking time of age of Aquarius. Now when you go 2003 up under, look at those music videos. You know, the technology and the type of cameras and things of that nature wasn't really the big thing. The thing was the kind of videos it was. Look at old Michael Jackson videos. Oh, look at all the old Busta Rhymes videos. Hype Williams, Missy Elliott. Look at, man, them fucking videos is cold, man. Like, people's imagination and illusions and creativity was put out there. Now look at we're in the age of Aquarius, the age of information and technology. Look at the videos now. People don't really care about your imagination and your dreams and the creativity of the videos. You could just do a video just standing right in front of the camera, and you don't even have to switch any scenes. As long as that motherfucker's so clear we can see your boogers in your nose, as long as the technology is top notch, as long as you using the newest camera, the most clearest one, it don't matter if the video is creative or not. You can just be standing there. That's the way we seeing it now. What's the reality of it? This nigga doing some crazy shit in the video. We don't give a fuck about that. How much? What kind of camera is that? How much he paid for that? Oh yeah, that's a good camera because he paid that much. Oh, that's a Galaxy. Oh, that's an iPhone. Oh, okay, yeah, that's a good. Other than the age of Pisces, where people was just using phones for what it was needed, for what it was used for. You see what I'm saying? Now, a person who got a phone a regular phone than a person who got an iPhone or a new Galaxy. A person that look at a person who just using a phone, who might got a rinky-dink phone to be just using it for what it's for, they look at this person like, oh, this person out of times, out of date. So you see what I'm saying? It's not about the creative things you can do. It's not about the creative conversations that you can have on the phone. It's about what kind of phone you have. It's not about the creative video that you can make on your phone. It's about how many fucking pixels and how many face pimples we can see on the video that you expressing. Fuck what you talking about on the video. This is one of the reasons why the dumbest people who make blogs nowadays become rich. A nigga with a new iPhone that'll go run through a fucking car window and scrape up his fucking body would get way richer, way faster than somebody with a rinky-dink phone but the video they recorded on there was some knowledge that'll take you through the next 10 years of your life. See what I'm saying? So you gotta understand the difference in the frequencies and things of that nature. So that's letting you know what kind of energetic forces we in right now with the age of Aquarius. But there's a gift and a curse to everything. At least people understanding the reality of spirits. At least people understanding the reality of religions and coming to practical conclusions of what's actually going on in the world right now. Now we just have to balance it and know not to go too far. And when the age go into Capricorn, think about everything we're doing now. How we're looking at the reality of spirits and gods and religions and things of that nature. In the age of Capricorn, that's cardinal earth, initiating and creating new ways of how to think and be practical, which is making sense out of things. So that's actually becoming these things in a shape or form. So not only are people going to be into the things of the age of Pisces, not only have people going to be taking the information that they gained from it in the age of Aquarius, now people are going to become these things. People are going to utilize these things for their status, their social ability. Same way people was talking about in old ancient religions and things of that nature, how they speak upon people actually walking the earth. That's how it's going to be in the age of Capricorn. People are going to actually call themselves Zeus or somebody like that, but actually play that part. It's going to be actually a stable thing, a status thing, how a person's seen and what they're known for. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a person who actually try to be God down here, like physically. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna correlate it with a person having the most money and a person who got the most foundation and the most stability, because that's the earth we're on as far as growth, stability, and caring and status. And that's what earth energy deal with. So the person who be able to do that the most will be able to take these names that we had put illusions on based upon age of Pisces, seen the reality on, and see what it really was based upon the age of Aquarius. Now people are going to take the shapes and forms of these things and make sense of why they that in the shape or form of that in the age of Capricorn. So just be prepared for you to see things like the movie 300 and stuff like that in reality when we talk about the age of Capricorn. You know what I'm saying? So people are going to be really like the things. For an example, you could look at the beginning of the Bible and say, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth and the void and things of that nature. Age of Capricorn, people are going to be doing that physically. They're going to be seeing, look, this is how you do this with this machine and this, that, and the third. Watch, there's going to be some deep shit in the age of Aquarius though. But yeah, I'm going to shut this fucking video off. But this is letting you know that sliding from the age of Pisces and what's really going on and the heavy influence that may never leave us, because when we slid up out of the age of Pisces, we slid out of a very important and prominent degree, which was 3 degrees Pisces, which is the fixed sign FORMALHAUT, which is the manifestation of the Archangel Gabriel. And you know, everybody is like an ice age. You know what I'm saying? And everybody, that dream, that sleep that everybody had, that everybody trying to see the reality of right now, that dream was so far out there and so deep that the truth is within that dream. And if we get too far into the left brain and leave that imagination too far by being into the age of Aquarius, we're gonna witness the destruction, and time is gonna start over again in some way, shape, or form, because we're trying to do something scientifically too much, or we're trying to make something that's shapeless and formless. We're trying to make it a shape or form too much, and it may fuck us up in a form of an air aspect to the point that we end up breathing in something that we're not supposed to, or receiving some type of information that we're not supposed to, and we utilize it in a way that we're not supposed to, and it's gonna fuck us up. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. Flight boss, bitch, goddamn air.